Hello, Forecaster here again, and we are back for episode 58 of the Railcraft server Let's Play. And we are going to implement this update function now. So similarly to the other update functions, we are receiving the data. We want to get the light marker and the light readout. So we'll have marker, then we'll just get element the marker, and then let readout get element, and then we'll copy that. So now that we have those, we are going to set the bottom of the bottom offset of the marker, and it is going to be it's simply going to be data light multiplied by 25. Yeah, plus pixels, the unit. And then we're simply going to set readout inner text to the light level. And that should be it. Yeah. Then we are going to add an update call here to light and send in data. We'll save and start that. So apparently the current light level is 2, and that looks slightly wonky. Why? I think that's... Let's recenter that. 8 will do. And then we're going to apply that to there. That should do. Nope, that just dropped down again. That's... There we go. Okay, need to do a cache refresh to force the CSS to update, which is a disadvantage when using files, CSS files, because they are cached. Right. So now I've unpaused the world, and the last value it sent was 2. So now it went up to 3, as you can see on the readout. So the sun is coming up. If we pop back into Minecraft quickly, you'll see that the sun is coming up. It just went up to 4. And there it went up to 5. So now we have a light readout, pretty obviously. Now I want to tackle the time. Now it's going to be pretty simple, I guess. Let's pause Minecraft again. We'll pop into the code. So for the time of day, we receive the time value, which is in this format. So basically we get the current date, and then a space, and then the current time in hours, minutes, and seconds, or the Minecraft, the in-world relative hours in air quotes, minutes and seconds. whoops, because they will be going faster than normal time, but they're relative, or they're the in-world equivalents of the time of day. I think you know that already, but so we have two choices. Basically, we can just print out that time and date on the page somewhere. Let's make a div and give it an ID of date time container, and let's add a new style sheet and call it date time. Actually, we should call it styles underscore date time. So let's rename that like that, and then we are going to include that up here. So styles datetime.css, there we go. And in this file, we're going to define this datetime container, and we're going to have it be positioned absolutely as the other ones are. I might want to. I'm going to do some I'm going to overlook the styling of this document and have the elements position themselves correctly, because I will probably want this to be viewable on something like a phone or a tablet or similar, and not just a large screen. So you can check the in-world time on your phone or something. That would probably be useful. And having the site not scale properly or expect a big viewing area would probably not be conducive towards that, or conducive. Yeah. So this is only temporary, basically. Okay, so position absolute. Let's set these here as 0 for now, and then we'll position this thing. We'll put a value inside of it. Actually, we'll copy this so we know what it looks like for now. We're going to need to style that, and then we'll inspect, and then we can move it over here, and then move it down a bit, and then we'll probably want to make it bigger. So font size 24. Yeah. So copy this into the code so that we don't lose it when we reload. Now we're going to have function update datetime data, and then we are going to get the container, because that's all there is at the moment, and we are simply going to set inner text to data time, and then we should probably call the function as well, like that. Probably helps. And then if I unpause the world, that should update. Or so I thought. No? Huh. Okay. That's a bit odd. I want to load this program into a new world and see how the date reflects that. Doesn't it update? Why doesn't it update the... I mean, it's refreshing the element. It's setting it, but it's not apparently receiving an update. Weird. That's odd. It's pretty foolproof, you'd think. Although things never really are they? In game, let's spawn another. Computer. We're going to boot this up, and we are going to check what the time is, basically. Date. It's currently 8:53:20. So the date is correct, but the time of day has definitely changing, but it's not updating on the site for some reason. It is not. Is it not sending that correctly? Or is it not storing it correctly? Both of those are interesting questions. The variable is definitely correct. But it's not working. That's really weird. Did I mess this up somehow? Oh. Right. Well, that probably helps using the correct whatchamacallit. The right method. So there we go. Now it's updating the time once again, and it is of course receiving the new time about once every 10 seconds, as we have specified in here. I wonder what happens if we set that to every second, and then I'm just going to terminate the program and restart it. Sometime. Come on, there we go. Program terminated. Okay, so now it updates a lot more often. This, of course, refreshes every second. We can set that to 10 times a second. Reload. Yeah, so yeah, we have the time and date now. However, I want to create something that looks similar or vaguely similar to the clock. So this thing. So basically we need a dial with two segments, two halves, and one should have a sun on it, one should have a moon on it, and be blue and black, or dark blue respectively, obviously. So let's pause this, and we'll jump back into here. And first, let's create the... first, let's do this and say ID equals datetime readout. This will be the new... Whoops. This will be the new container for the datetime readout, obviously. And then below that, we're going to have a div which is going to contain a dial. So class dial container. And then we want a div with a class of quadrant. This should also, actually, we want a div here with a class of quadrant core. And then we want 4 of these. And then we're going to ID them as day 1, day 2, and night 1. And you guessed it, night 2. And then in our datetime CSS, we can have day 1. Day 2, night 1, and night 2. And that is going to contain our, let's see, the quadrants are already sized. However, we need the border top left radius be 150 pixels, and this should be border top right radius 150 pixels. Need to copy that, and then this should be border bottom right radius, and finally border bottom left radius. And then background color for this should be sky blue. We'll probably do. Could probably get the actual color of the clock, but eh. And then background color for this should be midnight blue. Yep, that'll probably do us. And then we'll have a look at that. Oh, look at that. That doesn't quite work out, does it? Now the season dial core may have some No, to jump to that. Oh, right. That would be in seasons. Seasons. Oh, that doesn't actually have anything. I think what we want to do is we want to offset these. So this is going to have a left, a top of minus 150 pixels, and then a left minus 150 pixels. Yeah, that's basically what we want to do. So back in here and in here, you are going to go that way. You just need the top, and then this needs the left. I believe that is correct. Maybe. Oh. Well, almost. Flip those around. There we go. And now the core is at the center. So if we want, we can rotate this, creating some seams, but you know, that has to be an acceptable price. I guess to fix that, you can make them overlap just a little. I might look into that, but I'm not going to do that fiddling on camera. I'll show the results later in the next video in that case. Now we want a circle, which isn't too difficult. Actually, can you turn just one? Ah, yes. Yeah. We can turn just one div into a circle. So we'll have a div here. We'll ID it as, or we'll give it a class of sun, but because we might want to have multiples of those. And then in here we'll have sun, and then we'll have a border radius on all sides, and we'll have a width and height of, say, 50. And then we'll want a border radius of half that, so 25 pixels. And the sun is nowhere to be seen. Where's my sun? Ah, yes, probably a good idea to give it a color too, so there's something to display. Background color, sun, no color, called sun something, which is slightly disappointing. Oh. Where's my sun? There it is. That's a bit small. And it's also behind the sky for some reason. That's a bit odd. So let's bump this up to, say, 80. And we'll make the radius... If we don't make the radius half of the width and height, we get a square sun, which we don't want. So make that 40. Now, why is it behind? It should... It's at the bottom. It should be on top. If I put it there. Oh. Right. Okay. We did. What do I want? I want to go in here. We want the sun to have a position. So it should not be a part of the normal flow. There we go. Okay. Now, of course, it's on the wrong side. So we're going to want to shift it to the left first. I think 40 pixels should, negative 40 pixels should center it. That looks about right. And then if we go negative 40 on the top, we should center it on the core. Now, of course, we want to shift it further into the negative, so it goes up until it is correct there-ish. Well, probably that looks about right, so we'll put it there. There we go. And now it should stay there. Now, there's probably a way to make a circle and then cut out a circle from it. But I'm just going to have a full moon, basically. For now. Oh, right. Don't want two suns. That looks pretty good. So now this is going to be centered on that. So we have our time container. Now what I want is we're going to position these specifically. So we want the date time container to have a specific width. So say 200 pixels should do. And this shouldn't really change much. Oh. Except it's vanished. Oh, okay. I guess that's a little light. Oh, geez. I should not be doing that. Let's go 400. Okay, yeah. Now this is updated a lot. The dial container has a position of absolute, but we want it to be what? Oh, right. The dial container. We want to override this specific dial container. Which is this one. So we'll put a style here and say position relative. So this one is now relative. And then we want it to be, because we made the width of the readout container, or the readout, the readout container, we made it 400. We're going to put it 200 pixels from the left. This is going to center it. So yeah, we'll copy that too. and put in here. Whoops. And we also want this. And I guess we might as well. That has an ID, date timer readout. That doesn't have. I'll just put that here. This, we want to text align center to put the text in the center, of course. We'll give this an ID of sundial container, and then we'll move this out of here into the CSS file. There we go. Now all we need, the final thing we need to do, of course, is to move this down. So from the top, we want negative something. No, we want positive, right. So that is going to center that roughly there. So here we'll add a top like that. And there we go. And then we should probably also have an indicator. I could probably put a mask over this so that there's a window here, so it looks like the in-game one, but I'm just going to put a marker, at least for now. So we'll copy this. We'll put it outside of the core, which is what rotates, and then we'll call it sundial marker. And then we can copy the thing from here, put it in here, and call it sundial marker. Okay, now where's that? Right. Okay. That is not relative. That's not what I wanted. Right. Or absolute either. Where does it get that from then? Oh, I copied the container. I want the marker stuff. Actually, we only need that. Okay, let's put that on here instead. There we go. Still not a fan of the white markers. I need something that stands out a bit more, preferably. So now we have a sundial, but it doesn't update yet. Unfortunately, we have run out of time. So we're going to have to tackle that in the next episode, but it's basically going to be like this. We set the rotation of the core, but it's going to be a little more complicated because we have this thing here to parse into a percentage first. But with that, I will see you in the next video.